Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Veefin earnings conference call. I, Pooja Thakkar, the Compliance Officer of Veefin Solutions Limited. Thank you for joining us today to discuss Veefin's financial results for the financial year ended March 31st, 2024. I would like to inform you that participant lines will be in the listen mode only, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you have any questions, please select the raise hand option in the reaction tab of Zoom application. We will call out your name and unmute your line to enable you to ask a question. While asking a question, please limit your questions to two and begin with your name and name of your organization. Please note that this conference call is being recorded. The recording and the transcript of this call will be available on the website of the stock exchange and the website of the company in a day. Our management team is present on this call to discuss the results. We have with us today Mr. Raja Debnath, the Managing Director, Mr. Gautam Udani, the Whole-Time Director, and Ms. Payal Maheshwari, the Chief Financial Officer of Veefin. I now hand.
Thanks, Adhigo. Thanks, Pooja. Let me just share my screen. Good evening, everyone. And I think without further ado, we are on time. Let me start by first letting you all know that we are extremely happy. This has been a very good year for us, and happy to see the turnout here for hearing about how this year has been for Veefin. Now, we will do is we'll spend some time in just letting you know about Veefin, some of the products that we have launched. We'll then give you an update of our last year's financial performance and where we are heading going forward. And then we can obviously have Q&A. For 5 years now, 5+ years. And right now, we are very clearly the number one supply chain finance platform in India. So in India, we are the number one supply chain finance platform, which is used by lenders. So lenders use us to run their supply chain finance business. As of last numbers, $25 billion is the number that we are seeing annual disbursements on our platform across all our banking clients. And we have signed up 50+ banks and NBFCs. And this number 50+ is not just in India, it is India as well as outside India. And we'll talk more on what we are doing outside India. And something that we are very proud of. So, सबसे ज़्यादा खुशी ये होती है हमें that IT industry में there's a lot of attrition which is always there. Talent को लेके काफी खींचातानी चलती है. But हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी टीम जो है लास्ट 24 महीने में not have wanted to lose. So our attrition is close to 0% over the last 24 months. And for the last 2 consecutive years, we have been certified as a great place to work. And this is one of our core reasons why Veefin has done extremely well over the last couple of years in the Indian market and in the global market. And लोग हमेशा कहते हैं कि Veefin ऐसा क्या कर रहा है? What is Veefin doing that our clients are loving us so much? ये है कि दुनिया की ये पहली प्लेटफॉर्म थी जिसमें ऑनबोर्डिंग का मतलब होता है जहां आपके कस्टमर्स, आपके कॉर्पोरेट्स वो आपके प्लेटफॉर्म के साथ आके जुड़ते हैं. द फर्स्ट प्लेटफॉर्म जहां पे ऑनबोर्डिंग पूरी इसकी क्रेडिट अंडरराइटिंग टू ट्रांजैक्शन मैनेजमेंट टू लोन मैनेजमेंट, ये पूरा एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म पे दुनिया में सबसे पहले Veefin ही लेके आया था. एंड द सेकेंड इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज दैट वी हैव ट्राइड फ्रॉम डे वन कि Veefin एक प्रोडक्ट कंपनी बन के रहे, ना कि एक they do a lot of work on the custom side. We try to keep our customization to a bare minimum. That is the reason our time that we take to actually implement is much shorter than our competitors. Third thing, pay as you use. We were again the first ones globally who came up with a pay as you use pricing model for our lenders. यानी जो लेंडर्स की जो बुक्स होती है, जितना उन लोग डिसबर्समेंट करते हैं, we would charge a few basis points on that disbursement. And that is why lenders of all shapes and sizes started flocking to Veefin. And this is one platform जहाँ पे आप vendor side बोल लो या dealer side बोल लो. Between both two sides, there are multiple products which are there. All products are available on one single platform. These are the core reasons why lenders like Veefin. And at a product level, अगर आप सोचते हैं, so this is one product. Till date, we have been focusing on financial institutions. So most of our clients have been either financial institutions or fintechs. Now going forward, what you will also see is we will start interacting and working directly with large corporates. We have already started signing on large corporates, and we'll see a lot more growth coming from our large corporate business going forward. So large corporates, suppliers, dealers. So for every party in the supply chain finance ecosystem, there is somebody or the other who is using our solution. Payal, I'm assuming between you and Urja, you're taking care of the waiting room because I'm just closing it from my end. Okay. And as we have seen, there are a lot of awards that we have won over the last year. So these are just the awards which have been won in the last financial year. Whether IBS Intelligence, whether Leadership Club, Forbes Best 200 companies India में with a global business potential हो, या Business World के FinTech Awards हो, there have been numerous awards that Veefin has been winning. And by the way, इस साल के जो awards हमने जीते वो हमने यहाँ बताया नहीं है, but we have been winning awards last year. And this is, I think this is a faith which the market is showing in the kind of work that we are delivering to our clients. One of the most important things is supply chain finance has been a niche. ये एक वैसा niche है, एक niche product जो last ये COVID के बाद से इसका चलन और ज़्यादा हुआ है. And globally, there has never been any any vendor comparison which has happened on supply chain finance platforms. December 23 is the first time globally there was a survey which was carried out by a global consulting firm, IBS Intelligence. जितने companies है globally supply chain finance में, they invited all of them to present their solution to them, and they created a report. And Veefin was one of the only two players जिसे industry leader घोषित किया गया. Okay, and this was based on strength of offering and market presence. Strength of offering and market presence. Based on that, Payal, you have to tell me, you can see my screen, right? Because my screen had gone off for a minute. Payal, Urja?
No, Raja, we are not able to see the screen.
Not able to see.
The host rights were reclaimed by somebody. Like a host, who's the host? The host has disabled my screen. Urja, I think if you are the host, you have to allow me to share my screen.
Yes, we are doing the same.
Yes, I have the rights back again. Perfect. So now you can see my screen, I'm assuming. Gautam?
Yes, Raja, we can.
Okay. Yeah, so going back to the point, very important point, that first time globally there was a survey carried out by IBS Intelligence, and Veefin was chosen as one of the only two industry leaders in the supply chain finance platform world. Okay, now this is a point of great pride to us, because this is the kind of survey which allows us to expand our presence at the global level also. In India, जैसे हमने कहा, इंडिया में तो we are very clearly number one. So इंडिया में आज if there is any lender जिसे supply chain finance करना होता है, they will call Veefin. Veefin को call जरूर किया जाता है. सकता है, अगर हमें नहीं पता तो हमें दिखाइए. But at a global level, this kind of report makes a lot of impact for us. Going to Veefin, as I said, हमारी end-to-end platform है. What are the pieces now? Loan origination system जो है, this is what is used by Veefin for underwriting. Now, till date, we had only been selling supply chain finance as a solution. Whereas loan origination system was a product which we had as a module within the entire platform. But going forward now, we are now starting to sell the loan origination system separately also to our clients. We'll start seeing, and we have already started seeing results of this, where just loan origination system where we'll compete with other players in the market. This is something which we have started. FCF loan management system, this is our flagship product that people all know us about. Isme all of these modules that I will show you, there are all of these solutions on a separate individual basis also. So for example, ये loan origination system जो है, not only for supply chain finance, ये पूरे SME finance के लिए भी use हो सकता है, ये पूरे retail finance के लिए भी use हो सकता है, corporate finance के लिए भी use हो सकता है. We are now getting customers who are now asking us for this product, which is the loan origination system, separately for their other businesses also. FCF का loan management system we have always had. The new product that we are coming out with is the loan management system for all other products. So बाकी जितने products हैं, whether it's a term loan, whether it's a structured finance loan, for all of that, there also we are now coming up with our separate loan management system, and we have signed clients for that too. I have somebody who's come into the room saying that I have to admit people in. Okay, so I have.
Raja, since you have the slide, you'll have to do it. No one else is able to.
No, the easier thing is that I should not be made the host, and they should just allow everyone to share the screen.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm making Pile, you can reclaim the host, right? Let me make somebody else the host. Gautam, let me make you the host.
Make Urja.
Urja.
I'll reclaim as the host, and then I'll give him the authority.
I made Veefin the host.
Yeah, and that's it.
I made Veefin the host. Okay. So, as I was saying, loan management system for all other non-supply chain finance products, we now have a product for that too, and we have started signing on clients for this also. This is another avenue of growth for us. Collect Flow, this is our collection system. This is again a new product module that we have launched. It is a part of the entire product suite. However, this is now going to be sold separately also. We have a separate team in place for each of these modules who are tasked to go out and get new clients for all of these. And if you understand, we sell to bankers. Once we have sold something to banks, for example, supply chain अगर हमने बेच दिया है किसी बैंक को, our relationships have been built. Therefore, it makes sense for us to use the same relationships and now sell various other products to the same people. I think everybody else go on mute. Okay. So what we are able to do is use the same channel that we have opened up with a bank to sell different products. For cost of acquisition, जो cost use करना था वो तो हम कर चुके हैं. अब वही cost के base के ऊपर we are able to add new products which will give us additional revenues. This is on the collect floor, which is our collection and debt recovery solution. Deep tier finance, this is again an extremely important product. We have clients right now who are asking us for this. इससे you are able to go to vendor के vendor को आप finance कर सकते हो. India में nobody has done this at scale till now. We have 2 of our clients who have asked us. We will see results on these in this year itself. This will allow us to double the size of the supply chain finance book for any corporate, any bank, without signing any new corporates. And as we all understand, any new corporates is the single most difficult thing that a lender has to do. But एक बार they have done that hard work of signing a corporate, they can use the same corporate and go deeper in their supply chain to add volumes. Moving on to the growth that we have shown. So let's spend some time out here. This is something which I'm sure everybody would be interested in. So as we see, our revenues have grown 73% year on year. We ended March 24 at 25 crore. That's the revenue that we ended at. So these are all in lakhs, so 2,500 lakhs. That's what we ended. Our EBITDA has shown a big, robust jump of 91% over the previous year, and our PAT has gone up by 73%. These are the numbers. If you see the deals that we have won in the last financial year, there were 17 deals that we have won, and we have gone live with 9 clients. Our net DSO is at 144, okay, as of March 24. And our collections, if you see, our collections have outstripped our revenue. So we collected more from our customers than the revenue for last year. So collections have also shown a very strong performance in the last year. And if you look at our EBITDA percentage has also gone up. EBITDA percent has gone up to 43. And you will see this kind of trend in the future also, because our cost, the kind of cost base that we have is very nearly fixed. So as our go lives keep increasing, so जैसे हमारे customers और live होते रहेंगे, our revenue keeps going up without a direct impact on the cost. It's not a very direct correlation. Okay? So this is an important point to remember. From a market perspective, ये जो हम market में खेल रहे हैं, this market which is there, this is a very large market. So we were playing in the supply chain finance market, and in 21, the figures that we had seen, that it was a 50,000 crore annual market, which is predicted to double and go to 1,11,000 crores by 2031. By that same logic, the new market that we are now entering, which I spoke on the digital lending side, is all around the LOS, the LMS, the collections, those are those pieces. That's again a larger market. So it's a market which will by 2026 expected to hit 170,000 crores. So that's a new market that we're entering into. Is also. So there are 2 subsidiaries that we have started. A subsidiary around the API gateway. So because digital lending is such a large market, and because we have LOS, and हमने ये LOS हमारे जितने clients हैं supply chain के, वहाँ हमने इसको deploy किया है. This LOS today uses API gateways or ATS from other players. By starting a new subsidiary, which will now do the API gateway business, we will be able to launch our API gateway in all our clients that where we have already signed up with them. So जहाँ हमने sign किए हैं, वो हमने जो दिखाए थे, इंडिया में जितने हमारे clients हैं, all of those clients in the next few months will have our own API gateway. So it's a ready business for us. That's something. We have started one more company, which is where we have started building out our trade finance and our cash management solution product. Again, banks जिसके साथ हमने already काम कर लिया है, जहां हमने already sign कर लिया है, supply chain is the part of transaction banking. आपके trade finance and cash management. So when we have already sold one product to them, it makes sense for us to come up in future with these 2 new products. So in this year, we will have these 2 new products also, which we will be able to sell to the same bankers जिन्हें हमने supply chain finance बेचा है आज की तारीख में. That's something which will again add to our revenues going forward. This is a number which will tell you ki what we have been doing. So if you see March 22, the previous year versus last year versus what's happening right now, our marketing spends, the number of events that we have been working at, those number of events have been doubled. So last year we went to twice the number of events which we went the previous year. Our number of country directors that we have at a global level, that number has doubled. Now we have country directors in 27 different countries. Those give us opportunities of new pursuits. So जो pursuits है, that means कितने दिया है जिनके साथ हमने उन्हें डेमोस दिए हैं जिनके साथ हमारी बातचीत चल रही है for selling them some of the other solution of Veefin. तो लास्ट पूरे साल में हमने 193 banks globally के साथ we have been having conversations, and ये 193 में से 129 were conversations which we started in the last year itself. That means when we started 2023, we had 64 banks with whom we were talking at that point in time. 64 से हम बात कर रहे थे, हमने 129 नए ऐड किए, एंड अगर हम देखें 1st April 24 में that 64 जो थे 64 number moved to 135. So we doubled the number of banks जिसके साथ हम already conversations कर रहे थे. So that's a big number. So you will see value of these numbers in this year, because this is an enterprise sale business. Enterprise sales में जो time लगता है, this is the conversation that we have been having for the last year. So we won 17 new deals in the last year. We lost 4 deals. So our loss ratio, if you look at our won deals to our lost deal, is a 4:1 ratio. Okay? So that shows that once we start having conversations with our clients, we usually don't give up. This is something that gives us immense confidence for our coming year also. In terms of stock performance, I'm sure you all have been keeping track of it, but to see a snapshot over a period of time, our stock performance and our average daily volumes have been close to 78,000 over the last, from July onwards. So July to March का data है, and we have had robust average daily volumes. Our stock price as on 31st of March was 307. These are numbers that you know of. And our highs were at 409. Ending with the last slide that I had, which is our consolidated P&L, the consolidated P&L across our businesses which are there. So our half yearly ended and our annual numbers. So 25 crores, as we had seen, 25 crores is the top line, and our PAT, we ended at 7.4 CR, okay, compared to 4.2. These are the numbers. Earning per share from a 2.33 has moved to a 3.6. This is where we are, and I think I have shared what I needed to share in terms of presentation, but I would be happy to now take questions. And I can stop sharing my screen here so that I can see the people if somebody wants to raise their hands.
Should I ask my question?
Hari.
Yeah, this is Mulesh Savla, an individual investors. First of all, let me congratulate Mr. Raja for being the only and the first company having integrated supply chain finance platform. And you have mentioned something about the annual numbers, but when I look at half year's number, they are much better than the annual numbers. So my first question to you would be the sustainability of our second half numbers. So I think probably we were around 60% as EBITDA margin and 40% at PAT margin. So how do you look at future EBITDA margin and the PAT margin for at least coming 2 to 3 years? That is my first question.
Okay. So do you have any other? Or
I think if anything is follow up, we may just...
Sure. So what you said is right. So what is happening is we have had a lot of clients which have gone live in the last 6 months.
Okay.
Because of that. So whenever our clients go live, that's what adds revenues to our numbers. And that is the reason why you are seeing a higher. Over the next 1 year, so you saw the number of deals that we are talking about. You saw the number of active pursuits that we have. So the next 3 years seems like a very, very strong number. We should be able to maintain whatever the annual EBITDA margin that we had, 43%, we should aim at being around between 43 to 45, 46%. Those are the kind of numbers that we'll aim to end at.
Very good. Okay. So, apart from that, I would like to have, your aspirational targets about the top and bottom line, if you can, share with us. But there is one more question about intangible, which has gone up to 92 crore. So how are we, writing off some portion of that over a period of time? So you can throw some light on the amount of intangible assets.
Correct. One of the core things is the Indian market has not seen too many SaaS-based companies.
Correct.
Okay? So SaaS-based companies, यानी what we do is we try as much as possible. हमारे जितने नए clients हमने sign किए, we don't charge them anything upfront. तो हम license भी नहीं बेचते हैं. हम कहते हैं कि आप जितना business करोगे, we will take a percentage of that as revenue.
Right.
And the logic ये होता है that जो बड़े corporates होते हैं, suppose a lender comes and signs up with us, जो corporates होंगे, they will want to integrate their ERP with our system. So if we get into business with any lender and the lender makes the effort of tying up the corporate ERP with us, what that means is it becomes very difficult for the lender to move away from us in future. So that means it's assumed that once we work with any lender, we'll be working with them for many years. So our assumption is 5 to 7 years lenders will be working with us anyway.
Great.
Whatever we are building right now, we are building from a product point of view. So what we do is all the intangible assets that you're seeing, that is the product development expenses which are there, specific.
Right.
The customization is specific to the client, that is not amortized. But the specific expenses which are there, which are product building expenses, that we amortize, and we use a matching concept. So it's a transparent accounting policy in which we use a matching concept in which we say that our assumption is that a product life cycle is a 10-year life cycle. So because it's a 10-year life cycle, whatever revenues that we will earn, at the same proportion, we will also do an amortization.
Okay.
So we will continue booking our software development expenses under intangible assets, and we will continue amortizing it in the same ratio as our revenues over the next 10 years.
So that's also grow in the same proportion.
Absolutely.
Great. And just a word on, your aspirational target, where you would like to see your company 3 years down the line, along with some new pipelines of good corporate customers and the financial institution.
So the market बहुत बड़ा है. This market, because next 5 साल में आप देखेंगे इंडिया में वर्किंग कैपिटल फाइनेंस के नाम पे सिर्फ सप्लाई चेन फाइनेंस या ट्रेड फाइनेंस ही रहेगा. जो मार्केट में आज ये ओवरड्राफ्ट, सीसी अकाउंट, शॉर्ट टर्म वर्किंग कैपिटल लोन्स है, बैंक्स इससे दूर हट रहे हैं.
Okay.
Banks find these products very risky. What we have done is हमने एक पार्ट जो है सप्लाई चेन फाइनेंस उसके लिए तो एक महारत हासिल की है. Now the next thing that we are doing is on the trade finance side. तो ट्रेड फाइनेंस के लिए हमने प्रोडक्ट बिल्ड करना ऑलरेडी शुरू कर दिया है. अलग सब्सिडियरी भी बना लिए, सेपरेट टीम डाल दिया है उसके लिए सेपरेट. That is one thing that we have done. Then the other thing that, to answer your question in terms of aspiration, whatever we are seeing right now on supply chain and the numbers and the growth rates that you are seeing, we will continue with very similar annual growth rates over the next 3 to 5 years. So I don't see us slowing down that kind of a growth rate because of the very strong pipeline that we have. So our current pipeline is good enough for us for the next 2 years.
Right.
Okay. There will be large deals which will keep coming up and which will keep getting added. There are work which we are doing in terms of the PSB Alliance project that we have seen. That's a separate subsidiary which is there, in which all the work which we do in the public sector bank Alliance project will come there. And what 50% of the bank, Indian banking की जो balance sheet है, that is going to come out there.
Right.
For helping corporates go out and do business themselves. So I think the future is very rosy from the point of view of the market that we are going to be attacking and how well we are capacitated.
परफॉर्मेंस है उससे तो मुझे लगता है जिस हिसाब से आप मार्केट की बात कर रहे हैं तो बहुत ही अच्छा, I mean much more than what you are proposing growth आना चाहिए. क्योंकि recently I think you signed all the public sector banks for the platform, and there are some other wins also. So looking at all of them, I think यहाँ से तो exponential growth आना चाहिए.
Absolutely, but as we say that the idea is of under promising and over delivering. That's the idea.
Okay, thank you so much, and wish you all the very best.
Thank you. I think we have some more hands here, so
I would just like to request everybody to limit their questions to 2, please, so that everybody gets a chance to ask their questions.
So Urja, you'll have to keep track. Yeah, you'll have to keep track in terms of who has raised hands first, so that they are able to get the answer. So, Mr. Deepak?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
And thank you very much for holding this call. So as an investor, we can get more insight on the company directly from you. Now, first up, just a clarification. I mean, you mentioned current growth rate for next 4-5 years. So this year growth rate was 77%. So ideally, that's the growth rate we might be looking at for next 4-5 years, and we look to, I mean, outperform that, right? I mean, that's what you mentioned.
Correct.
Okay. So that is the clarification. Now, in terms of your capitalization amount, I mean, what is your capitalization amount as of FY24, and how do we see that going forward? And so what sort of R&D expense we expect FY25-26, and accordingly, how will your capitalized amount be more?
So Payal can answer that, but whatever the numbers that we see for the last year, the capitalization amount, the actually a 10-15% increase. So what was the number last year, Payal?
52.8 crores is the total capitalization that we've done during the year. And like Raja said, you can expect an 15%, 20% growth on it for the next year.
So as on FY24, we have got in the balance sheet about 52.8 crores of capitalized amount, right?
Yes, that's right.
And in FY25, this figure can go up by about 10 to 15%.
That's right.
And this is net of amortization.
No, this is gross.
Okay.
52.8 is gross. We've done a separate amortization. And amortization module that we follow, because we are a SaaS-based company, it's a weighted average of the revenues, projected revenues for 10 years.
Okay, so ideally this amount would get amortized over the next 10 years, depending upon this the revenue mix over next 10 years.
Correct.
Okay, and this get amortized in depreciation.
Right? Amortization, depreciation. It's the same. Depreciation.
So what is the expected depreciation we expect for FY25 as compared to, I mean, it was very small in FY24, right? Ideally, a much bigger amount.
Yeah, so currently it is around 7. Sorry. Yeah, so the current depreciation, we expect around 1.2 to 1.5 crores in the next year.
FY25?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, only 1.5 crores, right?
Yes. Because it's based on projected revenues. Being a SaaS-based model, our revenues are going to have a cumulative effect. So if you see even the current growth rate and the future growth rate, there is going to be a upward trajectory. So then the projected revenues for the future are a little higher. So the amortization will accordingly vary.
And so what is this figure for FY26? I mean, what one can expect? 1.5 crores can go in FY25.
5 crores.
5. Okay, understood. And my second question is on your seasonality. I mean, is there any kind of seasonality that we see in our business? First half or the second half?
Not. We go live with our customers, but we don't have a seasonality as such. But one thing is for a fact that the first quarter is usually slow, because our banks usually work slow in the first quarter.
Okay. First quarter is usually slow, but we don't have. Okay.
We don't have seasonality.
And this new product that you are talking about, digital lending, that has already been starting revenue. I mean, we have started getting revenue from this.
Yes, there's some revenues which we already started booking.
This is the digital lending, right? Apart from the supply chain.
Yeah, digital. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I think, yeah, that's it from my side. All the very best to you. Yeah, and you and your team.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yes.
Next, Urja.
Yes, Mr. Srinivasu, we are unmuting.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Congratulations, Raj and team, for delivering wonderful set of quarterly numbers. I have a question regarding this PSB alliance that you are talking about it. So what is the current status of it? Is it live and running? And also, what is the opportunity size of this PSB alliance?
Okay. So PSB alliance is a project in which we are connecting all the public sector banks, old private sector banks and NBFCs with fintechs, IRP players, logistics marketplace, and corporates directly. That's what the program is all about. The technology for that is nearly ready. When I say nearly, I would say it's 95% ready. We are right now at the some nuts and bolts phase of July. So it's not live right now. The agreements, because this is the first time globally something like that is being done. So the agreement that we are using, we have used one of the top legal firms who have now given us some agreement draft, which has gone to the PSB and the Indian Bankers Association for vetting. Once it's vetted, the banks will sign that and then we can start. In terms of opportunity size, let me put it this way. Today, if you take the entire supply chain finance market across the entire industry, everybody put together, how much is happening? It's close to 2 lakh crores. That's the portfolio size. If as on date, you were to ask us, what is the opportunity size? It is more like 2 lakh. It's more 10 times that. That means 20 lakh crores. That should be the number. Banks are all banks, all the large banks, they have put targets for themselves of tripling the numbers in the next 3-4 years. That is the size that they want to go for. How much we are able to get out of it, it's all a question. Are able to execute in terms of take the business out there. There's a lot of business which is there coming on the platform. How well they are able to underwrite the business and take the business is the question.
Okay. So there is already one platform called Threads, right? So this is also doing the similar thing like what PSB Alliance is doing, right?
Not really. The Threads platform is only meant for supplier finance, where the limits are booked on the large corporate. And there's an auction which happens for each invoice, because of which banks, when they go on the Threads platform, they usually make around 150 basis points lower than what they could have got if they had done the business themselves. So banks usually don't like that. It's a treasury play. The Threads platform is a treasury play. So somebody sits on the bank side and just keeps, instead of putting the money in T-bills, there on Threads. They don't have to do any collection. They don't have to do any onboarding. That is the reason the rates that they get out there are lower. The PSB Alliance platform is not that. On the PSB Alliance platform, it is exactly the way the banks do business, but there we are helping the public sector banks and the private sector banks in getting business. So we are going one step beyond. Till date, we have only given technology. In the PSB Alliance business, we are not only giving them technology, but we are also helping bring business on the platform. And we have a lot of business which is already lined up. A lot of businesses lined up, waiting for getting onto the platform, which is different than Threads. All kinds of supply chain finance products will be available out there. And the deal that we have with Public Sector Bank Alliance, it is not just for supply chain finance, it is for trade finance and MSME finance also, through an ecosystem route.
Mr. Paripar, you can ask your question.
Hi. You all. Raja, so I have a very basic question. I want to understand more on your business. So जैसे ट्रेडिशनल बैंकिंग होती थी, so the CFO of a company would the RM of a bank would chase a CFO of a company, फिर तरह तरह के documents मांगते थे. The banks used to do their own due diligence, and then we used to give out a supply chain PCFC या कोई भी limit देते थे. So I want to understand, where does Veefin come in this entire setup, and will the existing model जो सालों से चला आ रहा है, would that still be relevant? और अब वीफिन क्या सॉल्व कर रहा है इसमें, और पैसे कैसे बन रहा है इसमें?
Okay. दो चीज, supply chain finance as a product is different from all other lending products because supply chain finance में there are two parties that you always look at. There's a corporate and उसके either supplier या dealer. So during every drawdown transaction जो होता है, सिस्टम में आपको दो लोगों को देखना पड़ता है, दो लोगों की लिमिट्स देखना पड़ती है to handle it. That is the first place where we are coming in. That is the reason our niche that we had started with was supply chain finance loan management system. That's first point. Second, over the last 5 years, there have been, because of India stack and because of ये इतने digital data points आ गए हैं, customers are now getting more demanding. पहले जो वो आपने कहा कि वो डॉक्यूमेंट्स लेके आते थे, 30 दिन 2 महीने लगते थे कस्टमर्स को अप्रूवल मिलने में, customers are no longer happy with that. They want all of these things to happen more instantaneously. That is the reason why Veefin, when our lenders are using Veefin, they're able to cut down the time that it takes for underwriting. And ये जो पूरी accounting entries होती है, ये accounting entries अब Veefin पे होती है. Third big important thing is, because of the transaction volumes when they go up, जो आपकी technology होती है, it has to be able to accommodate that level of, आज जो देखा जा रहा है, some of the new clients that we are signing, वहां हम replace कर रहे हैं दूसरे players को. We are replacing other players in the market, whereas banks have been doing supply chain finance using other systems, but now they have reached a place where they now require better technology. That's where Veefin comes in.
And in that, so do we do the underwriting, or you have final discretion bank पे?
No, we don't. It's bank पे. Discretion always bank पे. हम कुछ नहीं करते. हम टेक्नोलॉजी देते हैं, हम डेटा लाके दे देते हैं बैंक को, so that bank is able to use all of them in the right way.
Mr. Meet Mehta.
Hi, Raja. Congrats on the wonderful set of numbers. So I wanted to ask you about your projections for FY25, FY26, your revenue projections, if you could tell me.
Payal?
Hi. Hello?
Hi.
Yeah. Hi, Meet.
Yes, hi.
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
I wanted to know your revenue projections and also any guidance on your upcoming EBITDA margins.
Our revenue projections for the next 2 years will be 50 and 110 crores. Okay. And the EBITDA margin, currently we are at 42%. We expect to stay at 42 to 45% for the next 2 years.
But as Raja said, that with revenue growing and you're pretty much sorted on your cost, your EBITDA margins should only grow from here, right?
What we are doing, Meet, as we said, that there are multiple products that we are now pushing in the market. And these revenue that we are now doing in the global markets. That's the reason why we believe that right now it makes sense for us to invest in growth rather than running for a higher EBITDA margin.
All right, okay. Thanks for that. Congrats.
Thanks.
Mr. Gaurav Gupta. Mr. Gaurav Gupta, would you like to ask a question? You were trying to raise your hand.
Yes. Rajaji, a quick question. What was our monthly run rate for the March 24 for revenue?
We don't have a monthly run rate right now, and the reason for that is that we are still chunky in nature because our clients who are there, they're of different sizes. 15 clients who are on the verge of going live, and there are various shapes and sizes. So right now, and I think for the next at least 15 to 18 months, we won't reach a steady state where we start having a monthly run rate in that sense.
Understood. And going forward also, we expect H1 to be light and H2 be heavy going forward as well?
This year, slightly. As I said that the first quarter is usually a slow quarter for the banks. So you're not able to take too many customers live in the first quarter. It's from the second quarter onwards that the push for going live increases. And as our clients start going live, that's when we see our revenues ramping up.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Mr. Prateek Chheda.
Hello.
Yes, Prateek.
Sir, this the second half revenue, is there any one-time license fee that we booked, or is this all transactional percentage fees that we have earned in the second half?
There was some non-recurring fees which have been booked. The entire revenue is not a recurring revenue. There's some non-recurring revenue also.
Okay, and as the pace of onboarding of these new clients, continues, we would expect these non-recurring revenues also to keep on flowing in.
Absolutely. So non-recurring revenues will continue flowing in, and the numbers will keep going up. Because the most important thing जो होता है that ये समझिए कि अगर किसी आप बैंक या लेंडर को आप ले आते हैं प्लेटफॉर्म पे, whatever revenues they start from, as their numbers keep going up, our revenues keep
Mr.
going up.
Paras Chheda.
Yeah, thank you. Obviously, it's a good set of numbers, so thank you for this opportunity also. Just trying to understand, what are the threats to our business? I mean, as I understand, this is a product company, right? I mean, software product. So we have this Infosys, TCS, a lot of these companies that have been in existence for years, and banks spend quite a bit of money on their technology upgradation.
Correct.
Why have any of these not entered this kind of a space, or is there a threat which continues or can come? Because what I understand is that product amortization will happen over 10 years, which is quite a long time in the tech industry, is my understanding. I mean, I understand it limited, but whatever my understanding. So, how do you see this? Why would you sustain, between these large giants versus the banks? Revenue projections, and I just heard this revenue projection of probably 100 crores or whatever, and so how do we project this kind of a revenue for, let's say, next 1 or 2 years? I can understand this year, ongoing year, but probably the next year, because it all depends on the transactional volumes that will happen, right? So is there some basis to project the revenue? And just last, if you can add to that also, what is the, if all going well, what kind of a, revenue potential you can sort of expect in the next 5 years, for example? So these are the 3 questions that I have.
Okay. So let me take a second question first. The numbers which had been shared was that for the current year, we should end, the aim is to end at around 50, and for the next year, 110. Those are the numbers at the top line. So the question then around these revenues are, how do we project these revenues? So our revenue projections are based on life. We know what clients are starting a new business, what clients will transition their business, which they're currently doing, on some platform onto our platform. So that's where we are coming from, okay, in terms of our projections. because our clients share that data with us. So हमें पता है कि वो उनकी कितनी पोर्टफोलियो है, वो कितना हमारे पास शिफ्ट करने वाले हैं. Point number one. The second point is, इतने बड़े प्लेयर्स है मार्केट में, उसके बावजूद why is it that we think that we will sustain? So I think इसके लिए एक आंसर ये देना पड़ेगा कि we should not have been there in the first place. Okay, the reason is that this has been a problem in the industry for a very long time. So when I was not in this business, when I was at the International Finance Corporation and I was advising banks, I was seeing this at a global level, that this was a need, banks wanted this solution. Despite that, the platforms were not able to deliver. As I said, Veefin was the first. People knew it. लोगों को पता था that that's what bankers want, but nobody had invested in that. When we started, for the first 2-3 years, we went through our own set of challenges, because this product has been a very, very challenging product. For the first 3 years, the number of issues that were faced were tremendous, and we know that anybody else who tries to build this product will also go through the same set of challenges, because that's how a software company is built. A software product के अंदर initially you will have challenges. The idea is how well you are able to navigate that period and move on to the phase where your customers will then start having trust in you. So that's the important point. Many of these large players, जैसे आपने नाम लिए जिनके, they have tried building these products since many years. Despite that, many of these नाम जिनका आपने लिया है, जो core banking service providers है, आप ये समझ लीजिए बैंक का हार्ट होता है. Core bank is the heart. तो core bank के साथ कोई, तो एज अ हार्ट, जिसके पास हार्ट है, वो तो चाहेगा कि वो जितने एप्लीकेशन थे वो खुद ही बनाए. बट डिस्पाइट दैट, इट डजंट हैपन, बिकॉज द कोर बैंकिंग प्रोवाइडर्स वेंट इन, they also went and they built this product over a period of time. Initially, they also faced problems. But now, if they want to start building a new product, as say supply chain financing, the banks don't have the patience now to go through them, because they say, when I have ready-made experts for that specific product already available in the market, why should I go with somebody and go through that pain now? इसलिए, if आपने किसी चीज में महारत हासिल की है, therefore you pick up a niche, become very good at it, and therefore the others are not able to compete with you, and they'll always be 2-3 years behind. So the investment that we continue doing in our product, it is not कि हमारे clients ने हमें पूछा है ये करना है तो हम करते हैं. We have our specialists who are always thinking in terms of how do we build the next phase of the product. How do we come up with new functionalities? That is the journey that we are on, which is why we are 2 steps ahead of the market. And as I said, India specifically, any lender who wants to do supply chain financing will call Veefin. Veefin को कॉल खुद से करते हैं कि आप आइए, आपका प्रोडक्ट हमें दिखाइए.
Mr. Pratik.
Sir, on the international foray, you said that you have already placed a number of people as country heads in a number of countries. So do you see which specific geographies here do you is US and Canada the going to be your major drivers there, because the banking software or tech side is very outdated or is in need of a lot of improvement?
You are right on that yes, they require improvement. However, in the current phase, Africa and the ASEAN regions and some part of Eastern Europe, that's where our focus is for this year. This year we'll start adding in, because as I said, enterprise business mein, it takes time to start closing deals. We have till now not forayed into Western Europe, US, Canada markets, but this is the year where we started to investing in those markets. We'll start seeing results in those markets next year. But our Africa, Middle East and ASEAN regions, where we started focusing from last year, we are starting to see results this year.
Mr. Sarthak.
Hi, Raja. So, sir, my question was on you're talking a lot on deal wins. But my question is on the how you're going to mine the customer in the future. Like, no, if a customer comes now, he has onboarded on your platform. So how you're going to generate more and more revenues? Like how you're going to pitch your other products to them. So in later deal wins.
I completely agree. I completely agree with you. That's the reason why we preempted this and started 3 subsidiaries. And if you notice, one is on trade finance, one is on the API gateway, one is on PSB Alliance. All of these are linked and we are selling back to the same customer. Digital lending start kiye humne collection start kiye, all of this again to the same customer. Like our customers are, once they have tasted our work, they then come back and say, आपने इसको तो live कर दिया है, अब I have these other problems and I have seen that you have the products to solve that. Now why don't you give me those products also? And we are seeing this very, very aggressively. Our clients are now asking us to give us our other products also with the same set of customers. So this is happening. ये already शुरू हो चुका है.
Okay. So how these all the products are linked? Like you can explain like how they.
Okay. So आप अगर supply finance देखें, connecting to the API gateway, then वहां से data आने के बाद it goes into the underwriting platform, which is the LOS platform. वहां again you require the API gateway जहां से data आती है. Your LOS platform ये एक business process engine है, low code platform, जिससे आप बैंक में कोई भी process, not just bank, beyond bank also, आप कोई भी process का orchestration कर सकते हैं. ये हो गया आपकी second journey. उसके बाद आते हैं आप लोन मैनेजमेंट, सप्लाई चेन, ट्रांजैक्शन मैनेजमेंट, जो ऑलरेडी है हमारा कोर प्रोडक्ट. अगर आपने टर्म लोन लिया है, टर्म लोन के लिए आपको फिर एलएमएस चाहिए होता है. वी अगेन हैव बिल्ड दैट प्रोडक्ट आउट. अगर कस्टमर की डेलिंक्वेंसी होती है, देन वो कस्टमर डेलिंक्वेंसी आइदर थ्रू टेलीकॉल या फील्ड एजेंट जाता है आपके पास, या लीगल फॉर्म जाती है. वो मैनेज करने के लिए आपको एक कलेक्शन सॉफ्टवेयर चाहिए होता है, विच इज अ कलेक्ट फ्लो. दैट इज, सो दिस इज द एंटायर सप्लाई चेन पीस. But each one can be sold separately also, and that's what we have started selling. Now, supply chain finance sits in the transaction management. Transaction management के अंदर आता है आपका trade finance, cash management, and supply chain finance. Cash management, trade finance हमने already product build करना शुरू कर दिया है, क्योंकि usually बैंकों में देखा जाता है कि जब हम जाके किसी को बेचते हैं supply chain finance, either they themselves are also doing trade finance or their boss is doing trade finance. With the same set of customers to whom you now have to start going and selling the other products also. Excuse me.
Mr. Paras Cheda.
Yeah, thank you. Raja, so just trying to understand now, India mein to, as you said, you created some sort of an expertise in supply chain financing, which is not only possibly nationally, globally भी आपने मतलब expand करने का try किया ही, and it's ongoing process.
Correct.
So assuming a lot of things go well, and assuming that we are able to compete also very well against the other software product companies, etc. What kind of, because I also see, so in your presentation I saw intellect design arena. So that is one of our industry leaders, doing some 2,200 crores, roughly that kind of an annual number in terms of revenue. So let's say things go well for you, 5 saal, 10 saal, what kind of revenue potential do you see, assuming everything goes broadly well for you?
So if everything goes broadly well, so we should be looking at making ourselves as going beyond what Intellect has done. Because if Intellect would have done everything right, then we would not have been born. That's the way I put it. And the market is very large. And what we are seeing globally, supply chain finance and trade finance को लेके बहुत ज़्यादा focus है. Central banks globally are pushing banks to start doing more of SME financing. And SME financing अगर आपको करना है from a banking perspective, supply chain finance, trade finance is the safest way of doing SME financing. So the market जो past का हमने देखा है, which our other industry leaders also have done, I think it's a fraction of the number. The players that one can look at is at a global level, say Finestra, which is among the largest globally. Gentlemen, जिन्होंने आपके पहले क्वेश्चन पूछा था, the idea is very clear. In the tech business, you use one product, become the leader at it, then using the same product, you start expanding, and उसको आप layering कहते हैं. Enterprise sales business में, this process is called layering, in which to the same bank, you start going selling and adding more and more and more products. तो आज आपने हमें ट्रांजैक्शन बैंकिंग में देखा है, आज आपने हमें डिजिटल लेंडिंग में देखा है. 5 years down the line, there could be more products that we'll start selling to the banks, the same banks. Once we have become champions in these products also. We had the digital lending product with us from day one. It's not that we built digital lending today, but from day one, we did not start selling digital lending. We sold ourselves and marketed ourselves as only supply chain financing. Once we saw to it that the market ने हमें मान लिया that yes, these guys are champions in supply chain financing, it's now that we have said, now let's talk about digital lending. And that's the same logic that we'll follow with other products also.
So just summarizing in brief, okay, are we saying that we will be kind of revenue? I'm just putting a number, the intellect design.
Yeah. So correct. That's what the aim is.
Mr. Ketan.
Yes. Congratulations, Raja ji. Just
Thank
wanted
you.
to understand how our platform is different than ONDC platform, where the similar borrower and lenders are come on the same platform and check their demand and supply and matches the right product, buy and sell. Is
ONDC? No, ONDC is not a platform. Okay, so ONDC is a protocol. ONDC is a set of protocol in which any platform, whether it's कोई buyer platform है, कोई app है, anybody can go and join that. Set of APIs are there. So that अगर किसी एक platform ने उसके ऊपर काम किया है, replace any other platform जो उस APIs use किए, they also will be interconnected. That's how it is. So it is not a platform. What we are, एक बार ONDC प्लेटफॉर्म पे अगर मैच मेकिंग हो जाए, उसके बाद अगर बैंक को फाइनेंसिंग करनी है, देन उन्हें Veefin की जरूरत पड़ेगी. You have to think of it that way. ONDC is complementary to what we do. We are not doing ONDC's job. ONDC is doing its job of giving a set of APIs, set of protocols in which anybody who wants to be a part of that network uses that API. And lending करना तो आइए Veefin के पास. Veefin का platform use कीजिए for a bank.
Okay, that's great, man. So we can able to get a good customers even from the ONDC side as well, without registration.
Yes, so any bank, correct. So any bank, कोई अगर आज हमारी कोई बैंक है या कोई अगर NBFC है जो कहती है कि मुझे ONDC के जो कस्टमर आ रहे हैं, ONDC पे जो कस्टमर बायर एंड सेलर है, मुझे उनको फाइनेंस करना है. अब जैसे ही कहेंगे मुझे उनको फाइनेंस करना है, तो सबसे क्या करेंगे, पहले उसको अंडरराइटिंग करना पड़ेगा. अंडरराइटिंग करने के लिए ONDC प्लेटफॉर्म से वो डेटा लेंगे, हमारे अंडरराइटिंग प्लेटफॉर्म में डालेंगे, अंडरराइट करेंगे, एक लिमिट फिर से वो ONDC प्लेटफॉर्म पे जो ऐप है उसमें भेज देंगे. उसके ऐप के माध्यम से फिर कोई अगर रिक्वेस्ट करेगा फाइनेंसिंग का, वो फाइनेंसिंग रिक्वेस्ट फिर से हमारे ट्रांजैक्शन मैनेजमेंट प्लेटफॉर्म में आएगी, डिस्बर्समेंट होगी थ्रू आवर लोन मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम. That's the interconnection between the ONDC apps and the bank's own Veefin platform.
Great. Thank you.
Mr. Pratik.
Sir, you said that you charge on a percentage basis. So what is it roughly? Is it like what basis points is the range of fees that you earn typically? And is it on the loan disbursed or in different products?
It's
how
on
is
asset
it?
under management. It's on assets under management, and it varies. It varies on multiple things. It varies in terms of what are the spreads that the lenders themselves make. It varies on whether the vendor has a portfolio which they are migrating to us on day one itself. It varies on our understanding of what we think that the lender will do. Because the lender itself, in terms of the team size, if we think that the lender has ability of accessing a large corporate base, a large SME base, then the charges that we will ask them is going to be lower because we see volumes out there. If we think that the lenders will not do very large business, then the rate that we'll charge them is going to be higher because we don't expect too much volume from them. So these three parameters which go in. What are the spreads that the lender will make? What is the portfolio that they will bring onto our platform on day one? And what is our understanding of their ability of doing business?
So what's the rough range here?
It could vary, that's what I'm saying. So it could vary from a few basis points, single digit basis points, to as much as 30, 40 basis points.
Great, sir. Thanks a lot.
Mr. Anvesh Pandey.
Good evening, Mr. Raja.
This will be the last question for today.
Hello.
Anvesh. Yes, Anvesh.
Good evening, Mr. Raja. Congratulations on good numbers. I have a couple of questions. Please bear with that. First, I would like to understand that there are a lot of onboardings of one after the other corporates and banks which is happening on your platform, or maybe you are integrating with API. I presume that all these institutions have been working on some or the other kind of LMS systems and supply chain financing on their own. What is the killing factor which makes them to take services from you? Is it something that it saves a lot of time, or it saves cost? I would like to understand that first, because premier institutions like Muthoot and few bigger banks like Yes Bank and IndusInd have been able and have taken your services. So does this entire exercise increases business for them? Does it add to their bottom line? How does the entire thing plays out where Veefin has become a lasting partner for these people?
Sure. So for the first part, we have a mix of both types of clients. One where our clients have been using some other solution and then they're moving to us. Second, where they've used nothing and just want to start supply chain finance. Where they want to start supply chain finance, it becomes much easier because as a business, they only look out in the market and see who is the leader in the market. And they figure out Veefin is the leader in supply chain, they come to us. Now, where banks are already using a supply chain finance platform and then they have to move there, the sale is that much more difficult, one would assume. Because migrating all of that, all the headache of the entire implementation again, why does a bank want to take that? You are absolutely right. The bank does that because the bank understands that the clients are getting more demanding. The clients are not ready to take system outage. No response. The clients are comparing all lenders in the market and saying, वो lender के platform पे ये है, आपके platform पे क्यों नहीं है? Then the bank goes to their vendor and says, अरे मुझे ये change करना है. Then the vendor says, मैं नहीं कर सकता, problem है, because they have not built the solution as a product. Okay? Or they say, मैं आपको 1 साल बाद दूंगा, next version में, या मैं कर ही नहीं सकता. Plus, going back to the first thing, what I had said, our attrition levels are brilliant. We are the best in the industry when it comes to the lowest attrition. So we know, our team knows our systems very well. So अगर कुछ changes भी करने हैं, our speed is much better than anybody else in the market. These are the reasons when the bank says, अगर मुझे धंधा करना है, I need the best system. If I need the best system and to compete with everybody else in the market, let me go out and find the best. That's the reason they come to us.
So my second question is, hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. You said that there are few corporate funds. You sign a deal normally. How much time does it take to take a client live?
As I said, we have till date, we have done our entire business signing on banks. And banks are of various shapes and sizes. There are NBFCs that we have signed. Some of them have gone live within a month. Because small portfolio, product is ready as is. But then there have also been clients who have taken 9 months to go live. Okay? Because the kind of customization that they want, because existing business है उनका, change करना है, उन्हें सब चाहिए कि जैसे उनके आज systems चल रहे, वो systems के जो changes है वो भी ले आने, plus new चीजें लानी. That's why. Going forward, now that we are moving and starting to get corporates also, for that, once the PSB Alliance project is ready, as I said, 90% of the work is already complete out there. We expect in the month of July to go live with that. When we go live with that, post that our ability of then going live with these corporates also will be much faster. So the corporates will be able to.
We are done with all the questions.
Can I ask one, please?
Yes, I think we have Paripar, right?
Parth is my name. So
Parth. Yeah, Parth. Please.
Hi, Raju. So I have invested since inception to your company, and I have one question on the threat of the company. So pardon me if it's a bit uncomfortable. So
No, please.
मर्चेंट्स में जैसे था, जैसे पेमेंट गेटवे में 2% फीस होती थी, फिर ग्रेजुअली लॉट ऑफ कॉम्पिटिटर्स केम एंड एमडीआर बिकेम एसेंशियली स्क्वीज टू जीरो और वेरी लेस. तो एक काइंड ऑफ पैरेलल है कि आर बिजनेस इज सेम वेयर वी आर टेकिंग सम परसेंटेज ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शन. सो डू यू थिंक दैट एज कॉम्पिटिशन रैम्प्स अप दैट fees, the margin which we make reduces and even go to zero? So आपने बताया कि आपको 3 साल में बहुत challenges हुए थे and it's difficult, but do you see that as a possibility?
We don't, and I think there's a very important question for all the investors here also to understand. Any business in which आप ज़्यादा charge करते हो, the business becomes too attractive for everybody around. And that's the reason you find too many players getting in. When too many players get into a business, they kill the business model. We, from day one, were cognizant of this fact, and that's the reason why the basis point that we have charged has always been very, very small. Because our intention always has been build a product company so that the same code base can be reused again and again and again. So whenever we sign new clients, उनमें से हम जो सीखते हैं वो हम फिर से अपने code base में डालते हैं so that every subsequent implementation of ours gets a better product than the last implementation. That's rule number one. We therefore charge very less in terms of basis points. When we see competition in the market, the competition is not able to outprice us, point number one. And हम जब basis points charge करते हैं, it is not exactly like MDR. The reason is our competition, some of the names that you have taken, would like to charge, and they are charging the clients one-time license fee, basis points across the entire life of the customer. So it is not our basis point which is the challenge. अगर आपको technology चाहिए, you either have to pay something, a large amount of money upfront, or you'll have to pay a small amount of money over a long period of time. We have chosen the latter. तो हमने second वाला model choose किया है. So till the time banks have to pay for technology, we will always remain. And question rahi that whether the percentage that we are charging, can it be beaten down? I don't think so, because that's anyway very less right now. We do not lose deals today on pricing. Pricing
like
is
you
never
said,
the question.
One of the question, it's like up to maximum is 40 bips. So that's not much at all.
It's not much at
So
all.
on that, would bank come and say that, okay, you're taking some part of my interest, which basically I'm lending the money. So do you give a FLDG or something? So do you do that?
No,
or are we going to get into that?
No, we will never get into that, because we do not want to get into the business of underwriting. We don't want opportunity for all banks and lenders to lend in the market at varied rates. हमें नहीं पता है वो. हम टेक्नोलॉजी में बेस्ट है, हम टेक्नोलॉजी देंगे बैंकों को एंड चार्ज अ वेरी स्मॉल बेसिस पॉइंट. अब ये सोचिए ना, जो निम होती है बैंक की, बैंक निम्स एंड एनबीएफसी निम आर 3%, 4%, 5%. दैट्स द काइंड ऑफ निम दैट दे चार्ज. Whereas we are coming and saying we will charge a single digit NIM. The single digit basis point जब आप charge करते हो, compared to what the banks are making, it's a very, very small number.
Yes, sir. I think that answers my question. Thank you.
And thanks a lot. I would like to thank everybody for the support that you all have given us, because that the fact that we came in, we had our IPO in July, and we were able to have a follow-on round of the same size within the next 6 months. I think it shows a lot of confidence that you all have in us, and that makes us work harder and see to it that we continue to remain champions in our space. Thanks a lot. Thanks to everybody.